Okay, so the song Dear Old Dad is an underrated Steven Universe song. Is a 4-chord song. Those chords are, or I guess like the way I play it anyway, I'm not sure if these are like the official ones, but it is C0003, E7, 1 2 0 2, A minor 1 0 0 0, F 1 0 2 0. And you could play the whole song with those chords. With those versions of those chords. Or you could play different versions or inversions. So what is a chord? A chord is a collection of notes. There's like more to it than that, but I'm just gonna leave it there. So for example, if you know that a C major chord is C, E, G, then you might be like, well, okay, well, if I just like put C, G, and E together in some order, that's a C major chord of some kind. Like, not sure what the quality is or whatever. That's beyond my particular pay grade. But suffice it to say, that means that you can play chords at different places on the neck, and it'll sound different, which means that you have more options with, like, you know, how to express yourself and how to play a song. So, for example, instead of playing the entire song down here, you could play it up here. Do 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 do. What is it? Do 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 do. Oh, do 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 do. I forgot what I was gonna say after this. Oh yeah, okay, so you can play it in different places on the neck. So for example, if you were going to play this as a duet with someone, maybe someone could keep playing this part, and then someone else could, like, play different versions of said chords. So let me demonstrate what that might sound like. Let's see, so my darling son, do 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 do, do 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 do. In this world of gems, there's no one like you. Something like that. Okay, so now that I've given you an example of what those chords are like, let me tell you how I got to those chords, or like one way, I guess, one convenient way of trying to figure them out or remember them. So if a chord is a collection of notes, and this is like a C chord, right? It kind of stands to reason that if you just like, if you play the same notes that are in a C major chord, or just like boop boop, a major chord, a minor chord, 7th chord, whatever, and if you just like move all of those up by a half step, then you have the same kind of chord. So like if I start with major and I move it up by 1, it's still some kind of major chord, it's just not a C major. Now this is C, C sharp, D, D sharp, F. And so the way that I usually find like chords higher up on the neck is just like by moving a shape that I already know, and then just like moving it up until I get the chord that I'm looking for. So for example, let's see, what's the chord that I was playing? Yeah, we'll use this, I guess. This is an E7. But you're like, these shapes are totally different. How did you do that? And that's because if I'm thinking of like, oh, well, how am I going to play a 7 chord? I already know how to play a D7, so I'm like, okay, I'll just move this up until I hit E. So D7, D sharp 7, E7. Or like, I could do that with another way to play a 7. So for example, an A7 shape. If I move that up, A7, A sharp 7, B7, C7, C sharp 7, D7, D sharp 7, E7. And that was another chord that I just played. So these are all the same chord. And like it's kind of tedious if you have to start like all the way back here and like count all the way up to whatever chord you're looking for, but it is like a valid way of doing it. But like once you kind of have a handle of like, well, instead of having like, I know where some other chords are. So for example, and like this is not to memorize, this is just like to demonstrate how it might be helpful. Like for example, if I know like, okay, I know a couple different ways to play F. So like this is F, this is F, this is also F, and F. If I know this is F, starting at the 5th fret, then I'm like, okay, well, if I want to figure out how to play a G from here, that's pretty easy. I can just go, oh, F, F sharp, G. And I'm like, sick, it's a G chord. Yeah. Like, theoretically, you could also be like, hey, well, I know that, like, I want to have a G, an E, and a C in whatever order that's going to be a C chord. And, like, if you wanted, you could be like, oh, well, I know that, like, that this is a C. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to figure out, like, I'm just going to find other C chord notes. Like, I know this isn't a C chord, so this is some kind of C chord. So is this. That's another way of doing that you could do.